Hello there, welcome back to another fragrance review. So there's been a lot of new flankers coming out, and I think this was one of the flankers that was anticipated a lot because its predecessor was absolutely fantastic. Now, it was probably not the most wearable fragrance, but when it comes to long lasting and high projection, this was the flanker that was very popular among people, and it also had a very unique scent profile, and that's what made this original flanker the absolutely beautiful flanker, right? So today we are actually going to talk about the new release that's happened from the house of Rasasi, and it's the flanker that's coming after the original Shuhrah, and we are talking about the Shuhrah Elixir today, and let's find out how good this is when compared to its predecessor, the original Shuhrah. Okay, and let's talk all about it. Let's find out what the inspiration of this fragrance is, what's the scent profile like, and the most important question being, is it more wearable than the original Shuhrah? Okay, because that's going to be a key element, because otherwise wearing or this particular fragrance might be a little challenging, just like how the original Shuhrah was. All right, so let's get on with this particular review. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney, and if you like the type of content that I bring, then definitely hit the like button, subscribe, and do share as well. And let's get on with it right after this intro. Alright, welcome back, and we are talking about the Shuhrah Elixir from the house of Rasasi. This Rasasi is known for a lot of fragrances, especially the Havas line that has been coming out like crazy. But aside to that, there are also other fragrances that they are very popular for, and two among them are the Rasasi Shuhrah and the Darij. Now, both of them are expected to have new releases, and the Shuhrah Elixir is already here. All right, now how does this come? This comes in a box that looks like this. It's a very basic box, a dark blue colored box with the hologram of Rasasi and the batch information at the back, all of that bit. Okay, very basic, and this is manufacturing of July, which is quite recent, and the bottle itself looks very beautiful. I like the way this particular bottle looks. It's very nice. It's a fingerprint magnet. There's a lot of marks that get smudged, okay, but the bottle looks very beautiful, and the scent profile is also quite interesting. Okay, now the original bottle of the Shuhrah was a little like this, okay, opaque, but this is a completely blue in color and with the words Elixir. All right. Now, you can in fact call this particular video this or that, because we can actually talk about how different the original Shuhrah is when compared to the Shuhrah Elixir. Okay, now let me give you a quick brief about the Shuhrah Elixir. The Shuhrah Elixir actually, or rather, let's talk about the Shuhrah itself. All right, now the Shuhrah actually has a very interesting scent profile. It has a very green kind of a fresh kind of an opening, and that's associated with a lot of woody elements and a little bit of a oud. And most people refer to the opening of it because of the tomato leaf type of a vibe that it has. It has this kind of a green, leafy, kind of a spicier kind of an element, but does definitely have a lot of freshness. Now, post that freshness, about 20-30 minutes down the lane, you do get a very woody kind of a vibe, where there is a lot of spices, where there's a lot of woodier elements, but the woodier elements leading a lot towards oud. Okay, and the oud here is not the most skanky animalic type of oud, but when combined with the woodier and the spicier and the general accords that they are blended with, which is mostly the Middle East type of the accords, then you do get a kind of a very woody, very balsamic, very incensey kind of a fragrance. And most people refer to this dry down as something like a cigarette ash. Okay, a common reference being the smoke ash where we put onto a liquid or something like that, how it would smell, something like that, which I don't totally agree with, but mostly to say it has a very known DNA that is of a lot of Middle Eastern fragrances, namely the Amwaj interlude. Okay, now why the interlude? Because the interlude has this kind of a very similar type of a dry down, which is very woody. It has a lot of oud, but not the type of oud that you generally associate with bin shake or anything like that, but it is more on the off-putting type of a DNA, which is very strong, spicier, and lot stronger. All right, now that is how the Shuhrah originally smelled like. Right now, so how does the newer flanker Elixir smell? All right, now what the Elixir did is actually fantastic. Okay, to be very honest, they have done something really nice here, because what you get I just put on a spray a few minutes back. What you get initially is a very known type of a DNA that kind of, almost resembles like a citrusy, gingery, ambery, ambroxan kind of a heavy fragrance. Okay, lot of citruses and lot of gingery elements. Okay, so the ginger has this, typical nuance of a spicier note. It has a lot of freshness along with it. It has that beautiful element of ambroxan, giving you that musky kind of an element, but mostly because of the bergamot or the citruses that are coming together along with the ginger, you get a good amount of freshness that is very similar to a fragrance that we are very well known, which is typically the alternates of Bulgari's Tiger or Bulgari's Tiger, or the lesser known, most popular alternate of this, which is the Theorem. Okay, now the Theorem has got a similar type of an opening, which is the citruses and the bergamot. Now that's what makes the Shuhrah very, very wearable. Okay, very beautifully fresh, beautiful, uplifting, energetic fragrance, and that remains for about 25 to 30 minutes to 40 minutes time, and after which you kind of get into a more woodier dry down. Now the woodier dry down here is basically patchouli, it has oud, it has a little bit of a sandalwood and a bit of floral vibe, okay? But none of these are extremely dominant at all, but the woodier nature is definitely dominant, and the oud is again very similar to the interlude that you have in Amouage, which is again very similar, or rather the same backbone that's coming from the Shuhrah. So the Shuhrah and the Elixir, both of these have that dry down in common, okay? But what differentiates is this: the original Shuhrah went towards a lot more greener, leafy, the tomato leaf element, which I'm not a big fan of, and I think there is the Sicilian leather that's coming from Memo, which also has a similar nuance, and it's not the most liked nuance. It takes a little bit of a liking, or it takes a little bit of a gut to actually like that kind of a fragrance, and that's why this was not the most wearable fragrance or of Shuhrah, but it had fantastic liking by people who actually like that type of a DNA. That is the case here. Because that dry down is similar, okay, you will still have that absolutely beautiful Shuhrah element, but because of the gorgeous opening that they have, where there's a lot of freshness coming from that ginger and the citrus and the bergamot element, you will absolutely love this fragrance. Now, while in which way the ginger, the citruses and the floral elements are coming together in this elixir, it also kind of reminds you slightly that there could be a mango note that is added, or it kind of feels like a mango note at times coming from fragrances like, let's say, Mind Games Blockade, or even if you think about let's say Summer Hammer, something of those types, or even Suspiro's Vibrato has that kind of a nuance where it kind of feels like there is a light hint of mango, okay? But overall, that mango could be very distinguishable in the sense to say it could be a little difficult for all of them to get it, because in the initial opening, the ginger and the citruses are quite prominent, but the subtle element of the florals kind of make you feel that you're smelling a mango at some go, but not the most dominant note, but it smells absolutely gorgeous. And then the dry down of the patchouli, the ambroxan, the sandalwood and the oud, which is very beautiful, it kind of feels an absolutely gorgeous scent, and this definitely is a wearable scent, the most wearable scent when you compare to the previous Rasasi, and they have done a phenomenal job. Now let's talk about performance, and that's where the original Shuhrah hit a home run, because this was absolutely gorgeous when it came to its performance. Super projection, super performance. Well, there's no difference here too. This is a 10 on 10 flanker that way, because this one lasts a whole day on your clothes. On your clothes, if you do about 5-6 sprays, you will notice your apparel smelling the same even the next day, because it's absolutely gorgeous. In terms of projection, it is absolutely killer. It will project for a couple of hours all throughout. You can really smell the fragrance up from a good amount of distance, 3 feet to 4 feet, I would comfortably say. So this is kind of a beast mode of a scent that way, whereas the freshness, the entire aura of the scent is absolutely beautiful. The sillage is fantastic, the lasting is monstrously good, and so that way you do get a fragrance in the ballpark figure of the close to 3,000, 3,500 rupees budget. You get a scent that is absolutely wearable all throughout, and it is going to be one of my favorite scents for the rest of the time, and I think it's a fantastic release from Rasasi, the Shuhrah Elixir. Now, where can you wear it? This, of course, being fresh in its opening and with the kind of woodier dry down, you could comfortably wear it for outdoors. You could wear it for office. You could wear it for any gathering, any loud gathering where you like a citrus heavy fragrance which has a very good woodier dry down and that can last long. It can punch through the air and reach a lot of people, and you can wear it everywhere that way. So yes, probably not the most favorite date night scent, I would say. That's one category that I would avoid. But if you're looking to wear towards parties, towards gatherings, towards weddings, towards office, all of that, I think this is a fantastic scent to wear. In my opinion, it can be a good type of a versatile scent also to say to, you can wear. But fragrances are very subjective, and the dry down could be something that you might want to get used to. So definitely try a decant or try this fragrance before you actually get it. But how safe is it from a blind buy point of view? I think when you compare to the previous Shuhrah, this is a lot safer that way. So you can easily pull it off, right? And that's what I thought about the Shuhrah Elixir. It's an absolutely beautiful fragrance that you will enjoy. Probably not the most defined fragrance for women. It's an out and out masculine fragrance, and you will absolutely enjoy it if you like a loud beast kind of a fragrance which has a good fresh gingery nuance with a light hue of mango, and then of course to complete it all with a lovely woody nature with a lot of patchouli and dried out. Smells gorgeous in the hair, smells really, really good. 10 on 10 from Rasasi's Elixir Shuhrah. Alright, I'll see you on another video. If you like this video, definitely hit the like button, subscribe and share some love. Hit the hype button if you really like it, and I'll see you on another video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.